Hello, welcome back to Color and Canvas. Today I'm going to be doing a straight pour using some mostly leftover paints. So let us get started. This is a 10 by 20 canvas. It's pink because I did a pour the other day with red and white and magenta just as an experiment, and it did not work out the way that I planned, so I scraped it. But rather than throwing the paint away, I scraped it into this cup. There wasn't quite enough left. So I added a little bit of red and a little bit of pouring medium to the leftover pink, and now we have this. So this is going to be our base coat, this cotton candy pink color, which I kind of like actually, but it's just going to be the base coat. Rather than mixing fresh paint for the base coat, let's use something that we already have. So I've mixed it very, very thin, and that's going to be our base color. As for the leftover paints, well, that's these little cups here. I had just done a pour using metallics. And so in the bottoms of all of these cups, because I didn't scrape the cups out, I had some pink tourmaline, some peridot, some peacock pearl, some ice blue, and all of these were in the bottom of the cups. But rather than using more metallic paint, because I was running low, I filled up the cups with my other colors that I have pre-mixed. Just added them to each corresponding color of metallic that I had down here and filled them up. So each of these is part regular paint, part metallic paint, with a little bit of extra pouring medium mixed in and some water to make them very, very thin. This gold is mixed golds. There's some 24 karat gold in there. There's some Liquitex Basics. It's a blend that I really enjoy using. So we have a gold, a dark blue, a pink, a purple, a yellow and gold mixed together, kind of a turquoise looking blue, some white and gold mixed together just so that it has a pearly color, and something that now looks lime green. And they're all mixed quite thin. Actually, that one's a little thicker than I want. So let me just add a drop of water to it and give it a little stir and thin it out just a bit more. I don't want these paints to be thick. I definitely want them on the thin side. They still leave a little trace when you pour them, just like that. There we go. That's the consistency that we want on these paints. I'm going to be doing a straight pour straight across and tilting. And let's just see what kind of fun things we can get with this combination of colors. I will put our base coat down first, and that way, while we let the base coat sit for 30 seconds while we fill our cup, some of those air bubbles will come up and they'll be easier to torch. So let's just get the base coat down first, and then we'll put the colors in the cup after. I'm going to fast forward through putting this base coat down, this bright pink base coat that was leftovers from the scraped canvas from the other day. I wanted to use this pink, and my thought was that as a base, it would be a really nice complementary color. If any of it came through the pour, it was going to look good with the other colors. And if none of it came through the pour, then great, because we didn't have to use any fresh paint for a base coat. We got to use up something that was already left over, and it worked really well. A little bit came through, but mostly it didn't. Mostly it just facilitated the sliding around of the other colors. So I think it worked out really, really well. And here we go. Come on, bubbles. There we go. All right, looking good. Let's get our cup. This cup filled with these paints and have some fun. So let's put a tiny bit of our pink in. And we're going to be pouring all of these paints from up high and letting them blend together for this pour. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of our gold because I've mixed extra. So I will be adding the gold and the blue twice throughout this cup. There we go. Okay, and then I believe I will add our purple. Just drop it right in, and I am going to use all of it because I'm not doing another pour today. Woo! Oh, did you see that? I splashed. That was bad. I'm gonna have to Well, you know, that's going to tilt off anyways. See, accidents happen. All right, I think I will do our blue next. I have way more paint than this cup will hold, but no worries. Put in our white. I may not scrape that just because of space issues. I've mixed together too much paint. Do our yellow, our green, our pink. I will scrape the pink because I think it's an awesome color, this dark pink with the metallic in it. And then I'm going to pour in the rest of our blue, our dark blue, and the rest of our mixed golds. I could have scraped out the cups. I actually measured quite well. Let's scrape them out. Let's get the rest of this in here. Even though it's going to pour out, it'll be volume of paint for tilting. All right. And a little bit of green left. All right. Here we go. This is really bugging me. Even though it's going to pour off, it's just bugging me. All right, that's fine. All right, here goes. 1, 2, 3, pour. And I'm just going to travel the cup down, pouring from up high. And look how that blue has taken over, and here's our pink. So we're getting to the end of our cup and it's all pink. So we're going to let that go because we don't want a lake of pink. So this is really our starting point is up here. So I'm going to tilt that down. Interesting. Most interesting. I don't know what I'm thinking. I just don't like the way it looks right now, but it will change. Let's get rid of those air bubbles. Alright, so I'm going to be tilting back and forth just to stretch out the paint to the side a bit before we stretch down. Okay. So let's just take care of this pink, shall we? Let's get rid of that. I'm going to turn this around so that we can pour off this puddle of pink, which we don't need. And then we'll just center. Let's see what we can do with this corner. I can see where this is just going to be a lot of blue. That cloudy corner is either going to make or break this painting, and I haven't decided which that's going to be. But we have to pour off this corner anyways, so we're about to find out. Just going to set this down in the puddle. See that pink dot in the middle? Did something drip? Was that a drip or a cell coming up? Might have been a drip. I'm going to pick that up because that looks wrong. I'm going to clean up that pink dot. I don't want that pink dot. Didn't do such a good job. think that pink dot wants to live because it's fighting with us. So let's just fast forward through me trying to fix this pink dot. It's easy to let one little detail on the painting drive you crazy. And so here I am trying to get rid of this pink, and I'm making all these lines. Now I'm having to add blue. Every swipe I do seems to make it worse. Eventually I worked on it enough and it got there, but don't let the tiny little details make you ruin a painting. I've done it before. Don't do it. Trust me, don't do it. I'm going to have to tilt off that corner. Hopefully there's enough paint to move it. Wow, it's going to change the entire composition, that smudge. But it's got to go. Come on. There we go. Well, the smudge is gone. And now the entire painting is on a diagonal. Which we didn't really want the whole painting on a diagonal like that. I was kind of liking how it was before. Let's see where we're at now. Let's have another look. It's not bad. That pink is being a problem. That pink dot is back. A little bit of blue is fine, but a puddle of pink I don't love. There we go. That's natural. I like that. Okay, and I think I'm actually going to leave this cloud right here, just the way that it is. It's so interesting. I really like the way that it looks. Let's give this a little torch and see where we're at. And that's quickly becoming my favorite part of the painting, oddly enough. Lots of little air bubbles. I might sink some of those. So now, where we see these little dots, you can sink them. Just poke a little skewer in and sink them. And if you're doing a bunch that are in the same color background, you can just do a few and then clean off your skewer as you go. But if you're switching colors, if they're on a different background, you don't want to be transferring color when you're trying to get rid of a dot. So, one by one, as you're switching colors, wipe off the tools. You don't have to do this at all. Some paintings, I see air bubbles where I don't want them. And this just softens it. It doesn't remove the dot completely, but it does soften it so it's not as noticeable, like this white one right here. Big white dot. Now it's not even a thing anymore. It's no longer noticeable. Anyways, let's just let this guy dry and see what becomes of him. I think he's going to be absolutely beautiful. And I love this little cloud that's right here. I think that's gorgeous. Anyways, I will show you the dried one at the end of the video. And we'll see how we did with this. All right, thank you for watching, as usual. And please go pour some paint, have some fun, and make something beautiful for yourself. Have a great day. Bye-bye.